Now live from Palin Music Studios in Springfield, Missouri, it's Wake Up with Greg. Here's your host, Greg.
Ta-da! Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up with Greg. I'm your host, Greg Rosander with Palin Music Center. Happy Wednesday to you all. Great to be here with you today. I hope you're having a lovely day and we're ready to get your day started just in a beautiful way to put a smile on your face and make it a great day for you. So I'm happy you're here. I'm happy to be here. For those of you new to the show, who are we and what are we doing? This is Wake Up with Greg. Valentine Rivera, do you speak French? Wait, very, very little. I took one semester of French in high school and I got a C. I didn't do well. I love the French language. I intend to learn it more because I visited Paris once and absolutely loved it. Want to go back. So no, I don't speak French now, but maybe I will soon. I've got a French language album that I listen to quite regularly that I absolutely love. Anyway, we'll get to that in just a moment. Let me get back to what we're doing here. I get distracted by the chat already, which is great because that's why we're here, to have some fun and to interact and all that. But so this is Wake Up with Greg, my daily morning show every weekday morning, 8:30 a.m. Central, to share the internet's coolest instruments with you. Instruments available for you to purchase on our website at palinmusic.com or by giving me a call at 417-882-7006 or checking out our Reverb page at reverb.com. I have a flurry of flutes for you today. Just came up with that just right out of my head. Can you believe it? I mean, just so quick, right? So we got some really cool flutes to share with you today. In addition to the cool instruments we have, we talk about music, we talk about art, literature, books, food, travel, you name it, we talk about it. It's just whatever comes to my mind that day, and whatever I think you might be interested in, certainly things that I'm interested in. So we'll see how that goes today, so stay tuned for the fun that we'll have with that. And then, so that's kind of what we do, and we just hang out and chat and have a good time. So here's what you guys can do for me. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the share, do all of those button pushes that make it fun for all of us. We're still in the 1560s subscribers wise, but I appreciate all of the support that you guys do for the show and the helping out and the sharing that you do. So yeah, just hit all those little buttons. It only takes a second. If you haven't done that yet, make sure you do that today. We do have the live stream chat going on as well, which is the best way for us to interact and have some fun. You can ask your questions, leave your comments. I can give you a shout out, and we can chat. I can answer your questions. Love to know where you are in the world. So let me know where you're watching from. We've got viewers from all over the world. Where was the one that we had yesterday? Bermuda? No, not Bermuda.
It starts with a B.
Starts with a B. We're gonna have to look it up. I wrote it down, but I don't remember where I put it. So anyway, people from all over the world watch this. So Brunei, that's right. Brunei, that was it. In Borneo,
Yes.
Brunei in Borneo, that was it. All right. So anyway, love to know where you're all watching from. Charlie Komika Studios is in Florida. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Are you in a furry or a flurry? What did you mean there, Charlie? Not quite sure. We have a flurry of flutes, so maybe that's what you meant. Who else is on the chat this morning? Max is here. Mom is here. Valentine Rivera is here. Vincent is here. John is here. Man, we got our regulars and we got some newbies. I love it, love it, love it. So Mom says, you are always so cheery. It's surprising that I'm cheery today because, man, I woke up with a brutal headache this morning. But fortunately, it's gone. You get a little workout in and, you get the blood pumping, the endorphins going, and things turn around for you. So anyway, a cosplayer. Okay, I got you. I've got some nieces that are into that, and I think kind of fun stuff. But anyway, that's a different story altogether. So we got the flutes. We got all that stuff. We're going to have some fun today. So what do you say we get this show on the road? But before we do any of that, we've got to say good morning to Jordan. Good morning, Jordan.
Good morning.
How are you, my friend?
Doing good.
Good, good. You got coffee or tea today?
Coffee.
Coffee. Folgers?
Yeah. The best.
Nothing wrong with Folgers. Is it like Folgers Black Silk? Is it like the dark roast, or what do you?
My wife picks it out.
Yeah.
I think it's a medium roast.
Medium roast. The thing that I learned about coffee, like as far as the roast is concerned, it's like a medium roast is actually stronger and has more caffeine in it than a dark roast.
Because you roast out all the caffeine.
Yeah, because you roast all the caffeine out of it. I didn't realize that. I love a dark roast because I like the just really rich flavor, but apparently it doesn't have nearly the caffeine as a medium roast. So there you go. You learn something new every day. All right, so I guess we'll just dive into this. What do you think?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right.
Let's hop into the first flute.
Hop into the first flute.
But before that, can you talk about your shirt and watch today?
Shirt and watch today, day 3 of Tommy Bahama. I've just checked my closet. I've got enough Tommy Bahama shirts to last the week. So this isn't the one I planned on wearing today because it is Wednesday. And, Wednesdays, we wear pink on Wednesday, right? For those of you who know, you know. So I've got a little bit of pink in this shirt, but I'll save the pink shirt for Friday, and you can wait for that. But this has got kind of I don't know what you call this pattern. It's not a mandala pattern, but it's I don't know. It's just a pattern. It's got some flowers and diamonds, and I don't know what you call it, but really comfy shirt, good Tommy Bahama shirt. I absolutely love it. I think my wife got me this a few years back, so. Anyway, there it is. That's my Tommy Bahama shirt. And then the watch today, I'm just going to pop that off so you can easily see it because it's always upside down when I try to show it with my left hand there. But this is my Cartier homage, my Cartier tank. It's fake, yeah. But from like 2 feet away, it looks like a luxury Cartier tank. What? You see the Roman numerals there and the blue hands and all that. $11 this watch was online. I think it's a Sanda or Sandor or Sambor or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I don't think it wasn't Temu, but read a lot of reviews on this watch and it got a lot of positive reviews for like one of the best watches you can get for under $20. So there it is. That's my Cartier tank. I love tank style watches, the rectangular style watch. So any of you guys in the market to get me a watch, tank styles are a good way to go. All right, so that's the shirt, that's the watch, that's the game. Let's play Flurry of Flutes today. I'm going to get my fancy gloves on so we don't get these all fingerprinty. I don't play the flute, so sadly I will not be performing for you today. Don't want to embarrass myself or you. Certainly want to get you guys coming back to this show, and if I played the flute, it might scare you all away. So we don't want to do that. So first item up for grabs, we have a Selmer professional flute. There is the outer case. All of these flutes come with a traditional French style case, which has no handles or anything on it, so they always got to put a case cover around it. And this has a nice fleece-lined case cover. This is the model SFL for Selmer flute. 60, is it the 611 or 601? Hang on, let me get this right. 611 BO. All right, so let's put her together and show you what we got. This is professional grade flute, all sterling silver. So usually there's 2 typical types of metal that flutes are made out of, sterling silver or nickel silver. Nickel silver, also known as German silver, which is mostly nickel, has a little bit of silver in it, I believe. But this is a sterling silver flute, meaning solid silver, or was it 0.925 or 0.926, something like that, on the percentage level. I don't know if it says on here. This one is 923. All right, well that's interesting. I don't know if you can see that on the back of the head joint receiver there. Here's the Selmer logo. Is it sideways or is it up and down? Well, I think it's up and down there, so we can show you that. All right, so what do we have features-wise on this flute? Everything you want for a professional flute. This flute is definitely great for the advancing high school player. Even an advancing middle school player would do fine on this. So we've got solid sterling silver head joint, body and foot joint. And then we have the extended B foot. So we have the extended range on the flute, which makes it more versatile. We've got the gizmo key there on the B foot as well. Flip it around so you can see the rest of the keys. We have the offset G key layout there. So there's two typical flute key layouts. You've got the offset G where the G key kind of steps down a little bit. Just makes it a little bit more comfortable for most players, especially those with smaller hands. Or you can get an inline where all of the keys are in a straight line. So one is not necessarily better than the other. It's just a comfort thing. And some teachers prefer you get a inline. Some people prefer the offset. So it's entirely up to you which way you want to go with that. And both options are available on this flute, I believe. And then we have the French pointed key arms, easiest to see on the foot joint there. You see how you got the little point that goes through the center of the pad cup there, which gives you a really secure and level pad closure there. And then we have the French open holes. Okay, so we've got the open holes. And the open holes basically make the flute more versatile, allows you different fingering options, helps with the intonation as well. And these all come with a little set of plugs that you can put in the holes. If you're not used to an open hole flute, you can plug those up and then take one out at a time and see how it goes. So that's the Selmer SFL 611B, and that's what it looks like. And that's what it sounds like. This is live on our website at palinmusic.com. Or give me a call, 417-882-7006. Or check out our reverb page at reverb.com. And this one is on special. And in fact, if you want a super sweet smoking deal, mention Wake Up with Greg, and you can get an even better discount. So Arnell is here. Great to have you. Welcome back to the show. Just a reminder, folks, on the chat, let's keep it clean and appropriate and polite. This is a family show. No need to be inappropriate or, try to get me to say things that I shouldn't be saying or don't want to say. I'm a lot more careful with it than I used to be, so I usually read them first before I say them out loud. So let's, come on, guys. Let's just, be nice. All right. Otherwise, you're going to get blocked by Jordan. He's quick on the draw. He'll get you. All right. So that is flute number 1. There we are. We'll set that one aside. I don't even have to get out of my chair today because flutes are so small. I've got them all on my table right here, just ready to roll.
Nice.
All right.
Okay, ready for the next thing?
I am ready for the next thing. What is it?
Can you recommend music to us?
No.
All right, let's go to the next flute.
Moving into the next flute. Yeah, music. This show is about music, so of course we are going to share some music after I get my sip of Hawaiian coffee here. All right. Hey, let's see. Valentin, are you still there? Rivera asking if I speak French. I'm assuming maybe you're in France, but maybe not. But would love to know where you're watching from. And the rest of you guys I know, Charlie told me where he's from in Florida. And Arnell, we know, is out in San Francisco. So great to have you all. Hey, Vincent, how are things out in North Carolina with all of the hurricane damage out there? Are you safe and sound out there, or are you having some difficulties? I'd love to know. I hope you're okay. I mean, you're on the show, so I'm assuming you are, but anyway, just let us know how you're doing, brother. All right, so today's musical choice was inspired just this morning. I was like, I just really don't know what I'm going to show on the show today. And I was listening to NPR. My wife and I listen to NPR in the morning to get our kind of latest news and update on, the arts and whatever's going on in the world. And they've got a new segment on there about songs that have meant something to your life, or songs that changed your life, or whatever. It could be anything like that. Vincent says, "Good for us, but Western North Carolina is not good at all, man." Well, our thoughts and prayers are out there for you guys, and hope that things are able to recover soon, because it's a bad mess out there in North Carolina. Anyway. So NPR does this segment about a new song, and they were talking about a song. I don't remember the exact song, but I do remember the artist and the album. Mama's asking, do you do the singing on your new release?
Yeah.
Yes, that is Jordan singing.
Yep.
That's all him. And it's great. I listened to the whole album this last weekend, and it's top notch, good stuff.
But I can't sing in Spanish.
He can't sing in Spanish, but with all the translator programs we have, maybe we can do that for you and get it translated. So why did Jordan even mention Spanish? Well, the artist and the album that came up today that made me want to share it with you is by the great Linda Ronstadt. Inside joke in our family, that's my mom's friend from church. So, which it's not, but she's not. But one of the greatest voices in pop music ever, really. And sadly, she's not able to sing anymore. I think it's Parkinson's she's dealing with now, which is just a horrible, debilitating disease that just affects way too many people. But this album is called Canciones de mi Padre, and it came out in, I think, 1989. And it's a Spanish language album, and one of the best-selling Spanish language albums of all time, not just by Linda Ronstadt, but by anybody. And it's, she's got some Hispanic heritage, and, Canciones de mi Padre is songs of my father. And so these are songs that she remembered, I guess, growing up in her family. And I knew about the album back in the day. I mean, in the late 80s, I was in a different world, had just gone through a horrible breakup and was, not really with it. So I don't remember listening to this album at all. I do remember it coming out. I do remember hearing all of the buzz about it. But, man, I listened to it on the way into work today, and what a fantastic album. Now, I don't speak Spanish. I've taken some Spanish classes in school and lived in California for years, so was kind of immersed in the Spanish language out there. But man, it is so beautiful, and it was really tough to pick one song from it. I mean, I would share the whole album with you, but the one that kind of really popped for me today was called Yandele. Okay, so there's the song there, and the translation means "get on with it." So Yandele, it's very classic. Kind of a Mexican mariachi sound to it. You've got a great horn section and strings on this song, and Linda's voice is just so powerful and just amazing. Like I said, this whole album is just off the charts amazing, but check out this song in particular, Yandele. I am going to add it to the Wake Up with Greg playlist right now for you. And for those of you who don't know, Wake Up with Greg playlist on Spotify. It's a public playlist available for you guys that has all of the music I've shared on this show for the past 150 plus episodes. We've got over 12 hours of music on there now. In fact, looking at it, 174 songs. So there's some bonus songs, even though we're only on episode 153, I think, today. So we got about 20 bonus songs on there for you, but Wake Up with Greg playlist. Let me get back to that. We're done there. The song Yandele from the album Canciones de mi Padre by Linda Ronstadt. A fantastic album, fantastic song. And you're just going to love it. So check that out on Spotify or any of your other streaming services. If you're not on Spotify, I'm sure you can find that album on Apple Music or Prime, Amazon Prime, or is Pandora still a thing?
Yeah.
Is it? Yeah.
I don't think as many people use it.
Yeah, it was kind of one of the first ones that really hit as far as like the streaming.
You can only do radio stations, right, or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird. But so that's the song for the day. Certainly check it out. Let me know your thoughts. And guys, if you've got a song that you want me to add to, and let's of course be appropriate, but if you've got a song you want me to recommend on the show, let me know. Or a song that's just meant something really important to you throughout your life, or reminds you of a particular time or whatever. I'd love to know. So we can just really interact with this. My brother Steve is here. Hello and good morning to you, brother. Happy to have you. Arnell, prayers for the Carolinas. Absolutely. Yes, I believe that. And Florida as well. I mean, everything. Tennessee. Gosh, I mean, it's just a mess out there. And I think there's another hurricane in the waiting.
Really?
It starts with an H. Is it Isaac or Ivan or something like that? I don't know. Anyway, I saw a little TikTok blurb about it the other day. Okay, so that's my song. Let's go. Let's jump into Flute Flurry number 2. Number 2. My voice is cracking. I got to get rid of this cup. This cup is not working for me.
Time for it.
Either that or I need to snap that little closure thing. You know, it just keeps sliding and closing off my coffee, so I can't drink it. It's not nice. All right, next up, we have an Amadeus flute. Amadeus, rock me Amadeus. Made by the Haynes Flute Company, the great American flute house. So same style case cover. We got black fleece interior on this one. French style case. Da 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 da. Oh, I need to put my gloves on. So yeah, while I'm putting this flute together, anybody out there have an important song you want to share with us? You know, we can add it to the playlist. All right, let's put this one together. I believe this one is also an all sterling silver. Let me double check and see. It is indeed. All right, so Amadeus. This is Haynes is an American flute company, flute specialty house back in, where are they? Boston, I think. I don't know if it says on here. It does not say, but the Amadeus line of flutes is basically a Haynes designed and built flute, but it's made overseas to make it more affordable. You know, they build the flute overseas and then they send it to the facilities here in the U.S. for final setup, assembly, and adjustment. And so you've got kind of a hybrid flute, which makes it much more affordable, but still having all of the hallmarks of a higher end Haynes flute. So what do we have? We have all sterling silver. There's the Amadeus logos there. I don't know if you can see that by the WM or the WS Haynes, WM Haynes. I can't remember. William S. Haynes, that's what it is. Company. So basically the same specs as the previous model. We have the solid silver head joint, body and foot joint. We have the extended B foot joint there with the gizmo key. We have the French open holes. This one has the plugs in it, so you can see the little plugs there, little rubber plugs that you can just put in or take out at your convenience. The offset G for the comfort of hand position and playability. We've got the French pointed key arms there. Okay, and you can see them on all of the little pad cups, which give you great regulation and performance. And I think those are all the primary features. You know, we've got traditional double skin flute pads on these. Typically don't see the synthetic pads much on flutes or leather pads. They all pretty much stick with that kind of double skin pad. But this is the Amadeus. What is it? Let me get you the specific model here. This is the AF 780BO. So AF for Amadeus flute, 780 is the 700 series. BF for the B foot and the open hole. So with the French arms. So there we go. One more time. This is the Amadeus AF 780 BF flute from Haynes, live on our website right now at palinmusic.com, or by giving me a call at 417-882-7006, or check out our Reverb page. This one is also on special, so you can get a sweet smoking deal on that as well. Mention my show, Wake Up with Greg. Hayes Palmer is here. Good morning, my friend. Looking forward to seeing you this afternoon to check out some saxophones. Music Finest Hour featuring Mr. Music. I got my own flute. Okay, well, fantastic. What kind of flute do you have there, Mr. Music? Would love to know. Here we go. We'll put this one away here. And that is flute number 2. And I'll even show you. I don't know if it'll show up, but there's the Amadeus logo on the case there. Pretty cool. And these all come as complete outfits with all of your accessories, your flute cleaning and tuning rod, polished cloths, the flute plugs, all of that good stuff. All in one convenient little package that I can ship to you today, or you can even come into the stores and check them out here in Springfield or elsewhere. We've got stores all throughout Southwest Missouri and Northwest Arkansas and Oklahoma and Kansas now. We're just kind of all over the place. So there it is. That's flute number 2. Dun, 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 dun.
All right. Before we get into the final flute, can you show us something cool?
Show you something cool. Well, this is something I think is cool, something I hope that you think is cool as well. Like I've said many, many times, we do share literature from time to time, and I figured let's call it Papa G's Book Club. So I've got a few books that I wanted to share with you, books that I've read that I think you would really enjoy. I'm kind of all over the place with what I read. Primarily nonfiction, but I do throw some fiction in there from time to time. I do love memoirs, all kinds of different things. So, and just a little plug for the app Goodreads. If you guys are on there, if any of you are readers, get the free app Goodreads, and then you can follow me on there. I can follow you. We can see what each other is reading. We can recommend books to each other. Anyway, this is the thing my wife got me into because she is an avid reader. Like her reading goal for the year is, I don't know, like 60, 65 books or something to read this year. And she's zeroing in on it. I'm not quite there yet. My goal for this year is 24 for the year, which is 2 books a month. I mean, that's pretty good. And I'm 3 books ahead for the year, so that's good. So I may blow that goal away, I hope. But anyway, let's talk about the books that I'm recommending for you. First up, one of my favorite authors of all time, Kurt Vonnegut. This book is called Armageddon in Retrospect. This is the first book posthumously published after his passing of short essays and just writings and speeches and different things. The last speech that he ever gave is in here, but they're all on the theme of war and peace and whatnot. Just some great stories here. Some of the names of them. Wailing Shall Be in All Streets, Great Day, Guns Before Butter, Happy Birthday 1951, so on and so forth, Armageddon in Retrospect. And then there's a introduction in here by Mark Vonnegut, who is Kurt Vonnegut's son. Really great story there. And here's a picture of Kurt on the back there, next to one of those hydrangea flowers, I think, shortly before he passed. One of the great humorists. He's also been considered a science fiction writer. A lot of his writing comes from his experience in World War II of being in the Battle of Dresden in Germany, the firebombing of that city where he took cover. His famous book, Slaughterhouse-Five, details that to quite extent. And there's a nonfiction story in here about his time in Dresden during that horrible event. But such a great book. Kurt Vonnegut, like I said, one of my favorite authors. He's got a billion books out there that are all amazing. So check that one out. That's number 1. Number 2 on my list for today is a memoir called Truck, A Love Story by Michael Perry. Michael Perry is he's a writer. He's I think a radio talk show host. I mean, he does a variety of things. And it's really, in fact, I'm just going to read it. Hilarious and heartfelt. Truck, A Love Story is the tale of a man struggling to grow his own garden, fix his old pickup, and resurrect a love life permanently impaired by Neil Diamond. I don't know what Neil Diamond did to this poor guy, but anyway, in the process, he sets his hair on fire, is attacked by wild turkeys, and proposes marriage to a woman in New Orleans. The result is a surprisingly tender testament to love. And it's such a great story. I mean, I think the truck aspect takes up most of the book. He's restoring this beautiful 1951 International Harvester pickup. And so all of the issues that go along with that, for those of you guys that work on cars and trucks and what, what you think is going to be a simple half-hour-long project can turn into a weekend-long or a week-long or a month-long project based on what can go right or wrong with the tools or the parts or any number of things. But anyway, this is a great memoir. I love memoirs because they're just so much fun. You get to know about people that just what's going on in their minds and hearts, which is kind of cool. So this is not just a book for guys. Anybody can read this. I'm wanting my wife to read it. She hasn't read it yet, but hopefully she'll get on there one of these days. But check this one out. Truck, A Love Story by Michael Perry. a fantastic memoir. And then finally, a bit of World War II history, nonfiction. I talked about these last week, 2 weeks ago. The P-38 Lightning, one of my favorite World War II fighter planes, one of the most famous of the war. And this is a book called Lightning Down, World War II Story of Survival by Tom Clavin. Story of a young man, an Air Force pilot, piloting P-51, and he gets captured in Germany, and the story just takes him through his time at in the internment camps in Germany, which were some of the most atrocious things, and just the stuff that he witnessed. Usually, there's a code of ethics among pilots in the war where they were treated better even if they were captured. But somehow that message didn't get to the people that captured him, and he ended up in some of the worst. Let's see. When a quiet American farm boy named Joe fell in love with the Lockheed P-38, he had no idea that his dream of becoming a fighter pilot would catapult him into one of the most harrowing stories of World War II. Let's see. What's the name of German POW camp. On and on. Anyway, it's a story of survival. If you've ever read or know the story, Unbroken, I think it is. Fantastic book about a gentleman in the Japanese camps and what he went through. And this is a very similar story, but on the German side of things. Extremely powerful. A lot of difficult things to learn about and read in this book as far as the atrocities that took place in Germany during the war. But he survived it and came through on the other end. I'm sure, has the scars to prove it, both internally and externally. But anyway, it's a fantastic story, Lightning Down, for nonfiction readers, American World War II history. Check that one out. So those are my three selections for the day from Papa G's Book Club. Who the heck is Papa G? Well, that's just one of the many thousands of nicknames people have given me over the years. So, I'm going to roll with it. So there it is. That's my cool thing for the day. So check it out on Goodreads. Like I said, go to your app store, download Goodreads. It's a free app. And then we can connect that way and recommend books to each other. All right, so there it is. Let's dig into the final flute of the day. That's a little bit of Indiana Jones, isn't it? All right. I've been listening to a lot of John Williams this week, which because I talked about him yesterday. All right, last flute up for grabs, the Azumi flute. This is the model AZ3SRBO. So I think we're going to have very similar specs to the other two flutes here. Fleece lined. We got back to the light white fleece lining there. So in case you're wondering, here's what one of the flute rods looks like. This one happens to be wood. Very nicely carved wood flute rod there. Kind of cool. And then the flute itself, let's take a look here. Azumi is distributed by the Jupiter Company. This is a high-end flute brand that they share. And this is a fantastic flute for, again, the advancing player. Just looking across the board here, we got a three-peat here, guys, for the same specs all across the line. So I can't read the number there. 925. So anywhere from 920 to 925. The purity of the sterling silver there. It's got to be at least 920, I think, to be considered sterling silver. Anyway, that's the percentage of metals in there, silver to the other metals that make up the alloy. But here we go, solid sterling silver head joint, solid sterling silver body, sterling silver foot joint, and then all of the same specs as the others. We've got the B foot with the extended key there, and the gizmo key on the trill there. We have the offset G keys there with the French open holes. This one does not have the plugs in it, but you can add the plugs. It does come with them. French pointed key arms on there, double skin flute pads, And yeah, did I hit them all? Offset G, open holes, B foot, sterling silver, hand cut head joint, all that good stuff. So this is the Azumi AZ3 SRBO. So there it is. If you can see the logo there. Again, not a lot of fancy decorations on the flute. Usually they'll do some kind of a knurling or something up on the crown. Sometimes you can get a little bit more engraved up there and make it a little fancy. But you usually don't see a lot of engraving on a flute, which is interesting. But in any case, super high-end flutes. You can get solid gold flutes in a variety of levels of gold, like 10 karat or 14 karat or 18 karat gold. Of course, extremely pricey, you know, starting at the probably 10 grand range and going on up to, you know, 30 grand, depending upon what level of gold you want. But some of the really high-end players out there certainly like to do that. But this is the Azumi, great for an advancing high school or college player, entry-level pro player as well. These are fantastic flutes. Highly recommend them. Live on the website right now at palinmusic.com or by giving me a call at 417-882-7006 or checking out our Reverb page at reverb.com. So there is the head joint there and the crown. There it is. That's the Azumi flute. All right. Same specs all the way across the board on all three of these. These are all on special on the website. You can check them out. Give me a call. Come into our stores if you want to do that. Check out our travel voucher program. And yeah, come and see me and take home a new flute today. I would love to send one home with you. Mention the show. We'll give you an extra special deal. All that good stuff. All right, so that is flute number 3. The flutes are kind of quick and easy because spec-wise, they've got kind of all the same deal there. So there we go. That's the flurry of flutes for today. What do we have left, Mr. Jordan?
Can you share some wisdom with us?
Share some wisdom. I just noticed the time. I'm running a little long today. I apologize, guys. So we'll try to wrap this up here. Piece of wisdom today comes from the big man himself, Clarence Clemons. For those of you who don't know Clarence Clemons, he's an American saxophonist. Was one of the primary members of Bruce Springsteen's E Street Band. That's hard to say. I had the pleasure of briefly working with Clarence Clemons when I was at the LA Sax Company. He was an LA Sax artist at the time, had a beautiful, what we called the Brilliant Prism Swirl saxophone finish, which was kind of that ink blot kind of pinks and greens and blacks and whites, and it was really beautiful. And I think one of his is now on display at one of the Hard Rock Cafes, I think in California somewhere. Anyway, he passed away in 2011, sadly, after suffering a stroke, I think, after multiple surgeries, hip replacements, knee replacements. Anyway, he was also an amazing solo artist and actor as well. So he was a pretty versatile gentleman, but the big man, because he was tall, powerful player for sure. This is what he said about music. The calm mind allows one to connect with the inner self, the soul, the very source of our being. That's where the music lives. That's where my music comes from. So I think that's pretty powerful. The calm mind allows one to connect with the inner self, the soul, the very source of our being. That's where the music lives. That's where my music comes from. So there you go. Nice little quote from Clarence Clemons, something to think about. Music is in your soul, folks. That's where you find it. But you got to let it out. Get out there, share some music, write some music, play some music, or just listen to some music. Do what you got to do, but make music a part of your life. I appreciate y'all being here today. Thank you so much. I will be back tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Central, right here, to do this one more time. And let me leave you with this. Helping people make meaningful music is what we do. And when you're ready, I'm here for you too. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.